Hello everybody, Jason Lee here, aka Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster. I don't really upload much due to the fact that, honestly I haven't had the passion to do it, and I really haven't had the motivation from the fans or subscribers there. No one's been giving me, inspiration or really a reason to want to upload. But I put this up as a log. It's a stun deck I came up with the idea to. You can incorporate as many anti-meta style floodgates as you want. It relies on normal monsters for the most part, but it also has access to one of the best floodgates in the world, in my opinion, Heat Wave. The deck I'm talking about is Phantasm Spiral, but more of a anti-meta / stun variation. So, if you feel like it, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and rate and comment. Peace! Alright, we'll start off with the deck. We got, of course, 3 Megalith Smashers, the level 4 2000 beater, 1 Tenye Spirit Vishuda. If you have Megalith Smasher or the token that you can summon out, you can banish this from your hand or grave to bounce 1 card your opponent controls back to hand once per turn. You don't ever do its special summoning effect. That's it on monsters. On spell, the key spell of the deck is Pacifist, the Phantasm City. You run 3 of, and the token. It summons. I have this customly made. The way it works is it's always treated as Ami. This is a condition, not an effect, which means I can only have a total of 3 cards that are treated as Ami in my deck. These 3, in this case. And it's treated as Ami, hand, deck, or grave, doesn't matter. That cannot be negated. While it's face up on the field, if the opponent activates an effect, I can special summon a token. This token. A Water Worm, level 8, 2000 attack, 2000 defense, and it is considered normal to the field. And I can do this, I can only control 1 token at a time, but I can do this as many times as I want in a turn as long as I don't have a token when the effect resolves. And once per turn, now this effect is once per turn, if a normal monster, exactly 1, is normal or specialed, including the token, I can search my deck for a Phantasm Spiral card and add it to my hand. This goes for the trap cards I add to my hand. To help us get there, I run 2 Demise of the Land. If your opponent special summons, you can activate a field spell from your deck. 1 Terraforming, you know what that does. Heat Wave. Heat Wave says, at the start of your main phase 1, you can basically make it that neither player can normal or special summon effect monsters till your next draw phase. So you lock out effect monsters basically being summoned until your next turn, which is fine by you. 1-dimensional Fisher, because the graveyard don't matter. 2 Goddess Scold of Oracle. It has been seeing a lot of play in the Mystic Mind decks, and I do love it in here. Basically, once you get your field set up, you activate this card at the end of your turn. Before ending your turn, you will activate its effect. For the rest of the turn after activating, you can't summon anything but Valkyries. But you've already summoned everything you're going to summon already. What it'll allow you to do is look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and rearrange them in any order you see fit. So if they have outs to your cards, well, move it 3 cards down. And you can do this each and every turn. 2 Fossil Digs to search for the Megalith Smashers. Then for the draw engines, we have 3 card of Demise, because in this deck it's always a +2. You empty your hand so easily, as you can see. And 3 Duality. Not special summoning for a turn is fine. I do not run Pot of Extravagance in here. I do have it, I just don't run it because you have to activate it at the start of your main phase 1, which interacts with Heat Wave. I'd rather activate this, and you can't activate Demise the turn you activate it. Too much confliction. I'd rather get the plus from Demise because that's a guaranteed +2 than a +1. Then for the traps, we have Phantasm Spiral Battle and Power. Both of them have the same effect. If Ami, you can only activate them if you control only normal monsters. No effect, no non-effect. It has to be normal. So Megalith Smasher or the token. That's it. If I control anything else, I cannot activate it. If I control a normal monster, plus have Ami on the field, aka Pacifist, I can activate them from my hand during either player's turn. They become hand traps. Battle pumps a card. Any card I fucking want, and it's not once per turn. So if I have multiples, I can just pop, 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 pop. And power, it's basically like infinite impermanence. I target a monster, they lose 1,000 attack and defense, so damage step tricks, and their effects negated till the end of the turn. I main one because it's not as useful, except certain matches, so I side a second. Then we run one of the best cards in the deck, Sea Stealth Attack. Sea Stealth Attack has the effect that when it's activated, you can activate an Ami, aka Pacifist, from your hand or grave. So if it manages to get taken out, you can activate it right back. And that has two effects. Second effect is if a level 5 or higher, a monster with an original level of 5 or higher that's water battles a monster your opponent controls, at the start of the damage step, destroy it. So if my token battles anything, it blows it up before the damage step. Good news is I can take out anything. Bad news is if I battle a Karibo, it's not optional. You'll take no damage. That part kind of sucks. But the good effect, third effect, once per turn, you contribute a water monster, well, banish a water monster till the end of the turn. Either Megalith Smasher and then in phase it comes back, or the token and it doesn't come back, but it is a legal thing to do. And if you do this, all face-up spell and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects this turn. And it just so happens it says all face-up. That means field spell, this, or any floodgates you play, including things like Dimensional Fissure or Goddess, or some of the others I'm about to show. You can simply just keep your shit from dying. Permanently lock them in a hell. Macrocosmos. We know what that does. Metaverse, same concept. We run a little bit of negation in the fact of 2 Fist of the Unraveled Tinye. The way this works is if I control a non-effect monster, aka Megalith Smasher or the token, and you activate a spell, trap, or monster effect, I can negate the activation. If it's a spell or trap, it ain't destroyed, but it is sent to the grave because it never got fully activated. If it's a monster, its effect's negated, but, well, that one time activation is negated, but it doesn't go anywhere. This is mostly for like Twin Twisters, Evenly, things like that. And then of course, you got to run the Solemns. We know what they do. Skill Drain, normal deck, who cares? Soul Drain, basically backup macro and Dimensional Fissure. I pay 1,000, monsters cannot activate their effects in the grave or in the banish zone. If my Bashudu goes in the grave, I won't be able to activate it, but that's the only confliction that this deck has. We then got 2 lose 1 turns. First thing you need to know, lose 1 turn states that you have to control no special summon monsters, so I can't have the token out when I activate it. But afterwards, I can bring the token out. While it's face up on the field, if a monster special summon, their effects are negated first. Then, if it just so happened to be an effect monster, they're turned to defense. My shit's normal and has no effects, so it doesn't matter. But think of it like this. You're playing a Sky Striker deck. You flip this up. They go, Sky Striker Kagari. Upon summon, they try to get a card from the grave, but wait, they can't activate their effects on the turn. The turn they're summoned, their effects are negated. Okay, they go to shit. Nope, can't go to that one. Can't go to any of them. Any monster upon the turn its special summons negated for the turn. How do they get past it if they don't have access to, one of their spell or trap destructions? This will shut shit down. And then 2, there could be only 1. And 3 came kind of bricky. So that's the main. It's a 44 card deck. I kind of had to. It's just, it seems to work pretty good. I've gotten 3rd place in 2 OTS events with this so far. So, the side deck, 3 sphere modes. I went with sphere modes over anything else because it is considered a normal summon to tribute it out, meaning I can do it and then still activate Duality or Demise, or if I draw into it with Duality or Demise, I can activate it. 3 Winter Cherries, because you can shotgun them before or after at any time. And you're not using your extra deck, so I put a whole bunch of 1-ups just to take out any threats. An extra Phantasm Spiral Power, in case I need to negate some stuff, because it is a searchable impermanence. Standard Evenly. 3 White Howling. This states if I control a water monster, I can banish a spell from my opponent's grave, and until the end of the turn, basically Imperial Order everything your opponent controls. So their spells are turned off for the turn. Mine ain't, theirs are. And, well, what do you know? My whole deck's water. Go figure. And then 2 Unending Nightmares for, like, Mystic Mine or any other nuisance cards. Plus, keep in mind, with the effects of Sea Stealth, I can keep this, these, that, this, let's see, those, that, and the field spell in itself, all from being destroyed by card effects each and every turn till the end of time. Now, for the extra deck, the one-ofs for now may change in time. We got Mermaid for Orcus. Phoenix can also be for Orcus or any deck that has an out, but also gives me an out if I need to. Rarely I can go into it, but if I need to pop an Imperial Order or something. Guard Dragon bullshit. Abramax is really hard to get over in this deck if I don't have like something like Skill Drain or something. Shizuku. Hexia, negate spells, so you know, don't want to deal with it. Heavy Metal Foe. Makaba, spell, negator. Savage. F.A. Don Dragster. You'll get the concept of a spell and trap negation or bullshit to deal with. Nataria Beast. Trinity Dragon. I'll get to that one in a minute. I'll get to that one in a minute too. Utopia Devil, because I'm so sick of getting... I've actually had it a few times where I've gotten the Utopia Devil combo done on me, and I have trouble coming back from that. Very seldom does it happen, but you know what, I just don't want to deal with the shit. Make them lose all hope. And as for Redoer, remember, his effect's a quick effect. So if they manage to bring him back during your standby phase, and they get to take the top card of your deck, you run more traps than anything. You're going to take a trap. Even if you can take him out, if he banishes off the field, he can spin your field spell, and then you're fucked. You don't want to have your field spell taken away from you. So that's in there to prevent that from happening. And this, well, it just so happens, this card over here, besides negating stuff, has a secondary effect. If it's destroyed by your opponent's card effects, you can special summon out a non-effect extra deck monster. I went with Gagagigo the Risen. He is the strongest non-effect extra deck water monster there is. At 2950 attack, 2800 defense. Nobody would ever go into him normally because it's a rank 4 with 3 level 4s needed. But the reason you go into him is because, remember, your power and battle are shut off while he's out. But Sea Stealth can banish him for the turn. Use your effects, he comes back, you punch your opponent in the face. Well, that's my deck. Let me know what y'all think. Hey, I'm loving it. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free. And as always, until next time, peace out, rock on.